Have you seen Anna Kasparian's tweet? I'm curious. Your opinion. What your opinion is? It seems complicated. Yeah, I did. I did see Anna Kasparian's tweet. I talked about it yesterday. When she first popped off. And it's not... It's one of those things where it's like... I think Juniper said it best. Instead of Anna's tweet, I'll just tell you what Juniper said. Which is perfect. You know what I mean? It's Anna is not wrong, right? Like, she's not. But it's inherently a right-wing talking point because it's not a real issue. It's what you do with incorrect, or it's what you do with like a statement, or how you push a certain statement that matters, or how you do it. Like, for example, when someone says a trans woman can have an advantage, a physical advantage in athletic competition, this statement in and of itself is not incorrect. A trans woman absolutely can have a biological advantage over a cis woman. Yes, of course. But if you make that the heart of your argument and talk about how unfair it is and how it's ridiculous, then all of a sudden you're just doing the bidding of the right for no reason, because this is a culture war issue. Right? She's absolutely wrong. She spewed some right-wing reactionary bullshit, now a bunch of TERFs and nonsense are praising her and pushing it all over Twitter. Yes, I know. I saw. It's like it's interesting to think, because it's like I said, you're not completely incorrect with your sentiment. I have said something similar to that, where I think that like outside of like hyper specific scenarios, the notion that like people should be reduced to their reproductive capabilities or whatever organs they have is silly, right? But also, no one does that. It's not a real thing. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like a hyper-specific and overly dramatized, idiotic fucking talking point that right-wingers constantly harp on. Do you understand? Anna came out of the gate swinging. When we first looked at this, it had like 2,000 likes, but of course it's blown the fuck up since then with 102,000 likes. Anna says, I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or a person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit. Now, do I think Anna is transphobic? No. Do I think Anna doesn't fight for trans rights? Of course she fights for trans rights. So does Cenk. The Young Turks have been a long supporter of all marginalized groups, including trans people. Do you understand? I mean, are they... Someone said, what about homeless? Okay, well, I won't go that far. I think that they have gone a bit astray in their advocacy for, criminalizing the homeless and things of that nature. Yes, that part I do agree with you on. But as far as I've seen it, no, not with like trans issues. I think they're pretty decent on trans issues. Does that make sense? The homelessness one, no, they're a bit reactionary, I will say. If I with their advocacy for the carceral state, it's not great. Anyway, but does that make sense when I say like in a vacuum, this sentiment itself is not like incorrect, nor is it a conversation that given if the right words were utilized, anyone would consider objectionable, right? Even inside of like trans circles, I would say. But when you say it this way, as though it's a real problem, it's immediately weaponized by right wingers, because it's not a real issue. But the right love turning not real issues into supposedly very real issues by manufacturing outrage around them. It's far less degrading than all the misogynistic assholes that call asshole men that call women females. At least one term recognizes their personhood and humanity. She's mad over a medical term. So fucking stupid. It's kind of transphobic, to be honest, even if she doesn't recognize it. And your uncle has been vehemently defending her. That only caters to the worst people. Yeah, of course Cenk is defending her. I don't even think Cenk disagrees with her, because I don't think this sentiment expressed is like is the attitude is wrong. But like I said, in a vacuum, it's not like an unreasonable thing to state. It's just that it's not an issue. So why would you ever bring it up? Why would you ever talk about it? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand? I'm being very careful and trying to use as precise wording as possible. Like even Juniper's criticism here, which is what I love. Like I like this. I brought it up yesterday. Also understands it, right? So funny for someone to witness the trans moral panic, the calls for our eradication in public, the banning of trans medical care in multiple states, yet decide to make everything about how the 14 libbed up academics who use these silly phrases bother you so much. Notice how she also said these are silly phrases only utilized by 14 libbed up academics. Because that's true. It's one of those like Latinx style movements, right? But outside of like a conversation that directly pertains to someone trying to check me and be like, you have to use Latinx or whatever the fuck, you're not going to see me make that my political statement, my outward political statement that like, no, I will never say Latinx. You know what I mean? Like it's stupid. It's a stupid thing to consistently talk about. You feel me? Now, of course, Ben Shapiro retweeted it. Carrie Lake responded to it. It was bad. It was so bad. I've never heard anyone refer to themselves or someone else with those terms that happen. And what is the reason? It does not happen. No, it's not a thing. Okay? Like, it's like right-wingers talking about like every now and then. I talked about this yesterday as well, but I'm repeating myself. It's like when the Daily Mail, the Daily Turf Mail, fucking writes an article about like the one trans couple that fucking had a child. You know what I mean? A trans man and a trans woman and a fucking child. Look at how fucking crazy this is, right? Like they write an article about it and then everyone on the right-wing circuits go, that's fucking crazy. And it's like, dude, you quite literally have to get off the juice to be able to perform these functions. Like, it's not, that doesn't take away your, transness, obviously. Or that doesn't make you any less male or female. But the point is like, it's not. It's like literally such a insanely marginal, unique circumstance that is not even in any way, shape, or form tangentially related to trans existence and allowing trans people to fucking live freely in society, right? That like making a big deal about it is insane. And it is literally implicating here that men can't ever menstruate here too. I guess she's saying that only women can have a uterus or only women can give birth. I don't think she believes that. I think that is our assessment. I mean, I don't know. But I don't think she's saying that at all. I think she's saying that it's like almost dehumanizing to refer to someone by their reproductive organs or anything other than that. Like just their reproductive organs or their their capabilities, right? That's it. That's all she's trying to say, but she's saying it in a very spicy way, and she's going to get a lot of clout from the worst possible people. Does that make sense? Not to say that, like, these terms don't have use. They do. But those usage, the usage for these terms are hyper-specific medical scenarios where, like, an incredibly marginal, like, incredibly tiny fraction of society will make use of it, right? And it's affirming, and that's good. But no one in the real world is like, you're calling yourself a woman? Shut the fuck up. That's so bigoted. You're a birthing person. Like, that's not a thing. And you want to know how it's not a thing? Because the right obsessively try to make it a thing. That's why Ben Shapiro tweets every fucking Mother's Day, Happy Birthing Person Day. Because the one thing right-wingers love doing is painting a cartoonish depiction of reality by hysterical radlibs, right? And then when they can't actually find this cartoonish reality happening in the real world, they'll just become the example themselves. They'll just do it anyway. It's the guy who is, like, very clearly not trans going and competing in female weightlifting competitions, right? And then being like, look how easily I won this. I'm trans, lol. I'm no longer trans, lol. It's like, that's literally what they claim people are going to do. That's why they're terrified of trans women competing in competition. But because that never fucking happens, they have to make it seem like they're doing it. It's like trans people are disingenuously trying to claim that they're trans to win athletic endeavors is not a real thing. No one has ever done that, right? Yeah, I think this is, Anna really didn't like that birthing people segment you and Jank did. I don't think you guys are transphobic, but I thought it was insensitive and weirdly reactionary. I think it's messed up to tell people, especially people who respect the trans community and will use desired pronouns, that they don't get to be referred to as mothers. I'm not a mother, but I know women take a lot of pride in being moms. It's the hardest job in the world. Like, I don't think this is, like, I don't know why this is like a thing. Like, it's not a thing. I guarantee none or almost any of us in the chat ever heard birthing person in real life. Many of us are probably have trans friends. Yes, I have never encountered a Latinx, or I've never encountered a birthing person. It's even less likely. Like, at least, you know, Amy Goodman says Latinx, you know what I mean? And she's my goat. She's my queen. So I appreciate it and I get it, you know, go off, queen. I love you. You can do no wrong, right? But I don't think I've ever heard fucking Amy Goodman even say birthing person. You never encountered Latinx? No. I do see, I mean, I sometimes see it in like hyper libbed up spaces and shit in the media, or like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or whatever. Like, you'll hear it in like academic circles. But like ultimately in the fucking real world, nobody's like utilizing it. I've encountered Latinx because they did a lot of radical organizing for immigrants out here in the Philly area, but these were hardcore activists. Yeah. Jank fell for a psyop of a fake fan of yours. Yeah, I don't think it's real. That's like, the Humanist Report responded to Anna, said, I respect you a lot, but this notion that the mere existence of trans-inclusive terms, rarely used in casual combos, somehow degrades women, comes right out of the right's anti-trans woman's playbook. War on Women playbook. There's a reason why they're praising you for this. Hey, Mike, you're the guy who has no clue what it's like to have your reproductive freedom taken away, but consider what it's like to have the same lawmakers who failed to protect our rights turn around and call us people with uteruses. It's not inclusive if cis women hate it. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It just like feels so turfy. So I understand why trans people would look at that and go, "Oh, dude, she's going down the turf pipeline." You know what I mean?